Hey, awaken. I'll get better at that. Ready for some spiritual manna? Welcome to the Good Info Cafe, where multiple intelligences meet each day. We have music and fun for everyone, and big serious concepts, subjects. We talk about anything that's going to help the world, even to talk about very difficult things like fentanyl, and we'll talk about that. And hope. So, my precious daughters are inside sleeping. I don't want to bother them, so here we go. This is going to be, so just finished watching the end of George and McDuff's, on McDuff's channel today, and just making the comments, and the quality of people that are on there is amazing. It's also really hot, so I'm opening. It's hot in the car. It's just really nice outside. Beautiful day. So I'm going to be going all over the place, but we'll see. So the overview for today about hope, about real optimism, watching George and McDuff. There's so many, and then looking at the comments. Sometimes it's very important what they do, but also I weep. I get choked up because of the stuff, and Connie was talking about how all the young people lost to fentanyl and drugs and suicide, and it's horrible. And there are people in the positions of power who don't care. Cessation of care. That's why I say in Love Your Enemies, ruling control freaks don't care a damn about you. So unite the fight. Unite the fight. That's everybody, left to right, LGBTS, and black to white. And you know what the S stands for, because, you know, got to be inclusive. The Great Awakening worldwide. Strap on in for a wild ride. This has been a wild ride. And, but it's still inspirational. But I think what I bring is, anyway, what I want, the hope, and what to do about what George uncovers, and McDuff helps him uncover and clarifies, and McDuff's bringing the history up to it. I've bought hope my whole life when things are down, on the sports field as the captain of soccer team, and things are down, and then I can inspire through my play. So, and that does bring me to all the useful idiots. That's who I'm going to grade and prioritize a level of importance. So the grade for today is about useful idiots. So it's easy that they're a target because they're sheep, they follow. And that's also the regurgitators part. I really want to get that phrase out there. Regurgitators. When they talk about conspiracy theorists and putting, conspiracy theory is just a conspiracy theory. It was demonized starting consciously in the 60s so people wouldn't question the Warren report. So it needs to be balanced. Conspiracy theory is just a theory, but if people find a conspiracy everywhere they look, then that's a problem. And then there's the regurgitators who just regurgitate whatever the official story is, and that's a problem. If you're looking for the truth, it could be the official story, it could be a conspiracy. Conspiracy is just two or more people getting together to do something bad. So it happens all the time. So they've taken that phrase and used it as a weapon. They've weaponized conspiracy theorists. So let's weaponize, in a sense, regurgitators to balance out, so we get back to just a conspiracy. It's not. It could be two or more. It might be just one, that kind of thing. So I'm trying to go through this. So we'll see what I get to. But I'm moving also. And I said I'm cash poor, but spiritually rich. I feel all right. When I discovered this, that my birthmark was in the shape of, and I guess it's hard to see without a background. See, is that a good background? Was it a good background? No, that's not a good background. My hand might be a good background. And what do people see this? When you look at Jerusalem, Old City Jerusalem, this is the only part that Jesus was in. No, yes. Anyway. I really did deep, where is it? Oh my God. I don't know. Yeah, here it is. That's how people see it when they look on a map, or you can check that out. This fits right over my birthmark on my thigh. Like more than 90%, 95%. The person who made this said it's almost an exact match. I mean, it's not exact. Part of it goes out into the Mount Zion, and part cuts through the Temple Mount of my birthmark. I really have learned so much about Jerusalem and Israel and the history and the Bible and all that, just deeper. I've always felt close to God and Jesus as the greatest person who ever walked this earth, but he's also God, and we have a spiritual war and a terrestrial battles that we have, but we also still have all the beautiful stuff. And then Brent's Think Tank 2.0 is after we've dealt with all the bad guys and really got some justice going there, and then how to restore the restitution of all things back to God's harmony, that kind of thing. So that is optimistic. I find optimism in my heart when I also see the bad stuff. Or on my heart. I find optimism in the Bible, the book of Revelations, and that book of Revelations, isn't it an S? Jenny Moore, Task Force, always inspired with that. Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Daniel seem to be the most relevant to today. And then you guys inspire me and give me hope here at the Good Info Cafe. And another thing I wanted to say about that, now it is time for nutritious input. So that concept, and I got my apple, and so get your food, pause the video so we can break bread together. Though people don't live by bread alone, we're getting spiritual manna, we're getting good info, good reliable information. That's the goal, good reliable information, but good part. Because the Nazis wanted reliable information and even good information, and then they used it for bad. So I say good, reliable information to be used for action literacy, ethical actions. That's it, action literacy. So get your apple. But the nutritious input for this channel, the Good Info Cafe, I'm the master chef at the Good Info Cafe, serving up spiritual manna and serving up good, reliable information that can be used for ethical actions, action literacy, is good input with food. Then your body, your temple, your body is a temple, and so you're healthier with good, nutritious food. And same with information. Crap in, and that's all the useful idiots. So understand the useful idiots, they're regurgitators. They just want to be led. And so there's lots of people who want to be led. And so they're being led by a lot of bad guys, a lot of bad actors, a lot of people who don't care, people with positions of power who had the cessation of care, psychopaths, sociopaths. And so these people are going to follow them. So they need stronger, good leaders. So there is the love your enemies, but it's easy to just go after useful idiots because you're smarter than them, but your responsibility is to lead them. So remember that. I'm moving around. So let's just have our good, nutritious input. The metaphor, or it's not even a metaphor, it's showing how it's all connected information. This is information. An apple has a blueprint. What is an apple made of? That's information. The book of Revelations may be very relevant for our time, and that might help you be prepared for the things that are coming. And that's nutritious, good info. So they all tied in with information and reality. cannot separate the two. Anton Zeilinger in my book. So also, if anyone is interested in getting, because she made Old City Jerusalem, and then I fit it on. So it's not my birthmark, even though it's almost exactly. This is Old City Jerusalem, and then it happens to fit, reduced to this size. And someone TiVo commented, really likes my pendant. Called it a necklace. It is a necklace, but I think this is officially a pendant in the jewelry world, and it blows me away. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, and then the T-shirt. It's hot in here. I'm glad I have that open. Christian extremist equals extreme love. That's the foundation of Jesus and Christianity. Christianity can be misused, and people can call themselves Christians when they're not. Especially anyone. Anyway, that's another subject. But get my T-shirt. My book's going to be coming out. The new title is Critical Information. Paul Zerkowski, right at this moment, is writing a whole new letter to the world and the information literacy community. All right, so my two front teeth are a bridge from a soccer injury. I went to head the ball and a guy went boom with the back of their head right into the front of my teeth. So that's where I did my warrior stuff. Was playing sports, and I played with World Cup players, and God gave me some really, I appreciate the gifts that I got in terms of athletics and sports. My eyesight was better as like 2012, better than it was. Now it's terrible. 2020, so I could see the whole field, and using my right and my left side, creative and logical and all that kind of stuff. So I did well in sports. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I don't like, because I two front teeth, and I have lots of warrior scars from being a weekend warrior, amateur athlete. All right. Unite the fight, left to right. Let the scales fall from your eyes. All right, I'm talking with food in my mouth, but not my mouth full, because I want to keep going. Here's my partial list of songs that are relevant to George's channel and kind of crossover from mine. So tell me, the question of the day is, what songs do you think are good for the Good Info Cafe and George's channel? And some that work for all three channels. McDuff, I haven't done anything there because I was singing last Saturday at Dolly, my 9-year-old friend, piano player. Favorite song was Old Man River, and some of you saw. Thank you for the comments on those videos, and my father singing his song. So, you're a mean one, Mr. Muller. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Well, anyway. You're elite, brain educated. All right, then different strokes, yeah, for what's his name, Peter Strzok. Different strokes. We're just one page away. We're just one page away. Will we the people get the truth today? We're just one page away. These are the ones that are made up. Anyway, don't want to go to Albert's Farm no more. The Bob Dylan one, and then let's go down to Albert's Farm where I want to lay low. And then I was born in a crossfire hurricane. And then Your Move. Take a straight and stronger course to the corner of your lives. Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Whoa, your daddy's rich and your ma, she's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. 'Cause 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 most incredible. I still have apple, and I've got apple in my mouth. More the skin. One of the pinnacles of my music experience is studying voice with Todd Duncan from Porgy and Bess, what Summertime is from, but the woman sings it, not he sings. Bess, you is my woman now. Then Ramaran. And then the ones that aren't parodies or changed around. Old Man River. Then, oh, I wish I was in the land. In American Trilogy, Old Man River. Love your enemies, even if you have to kill them. Original. The Golden Rule. Since you can't compete if there's no one to beat, how do you show that you got what it takes? God, it's hot. You got to push it up to reach the golden cup. Skip at it and give your best to others as you'd have them give their best to you. Another original. These are originals. Well, God got all the power. God gives it away. Takes it away. God has got all the power. God gives and takes away. I read a man went walking down that dirty road, headed for Damascus with a heavy load. He fell to the ground. He fell to the ground. No, what is? But he saw what he couldn't see. Praise the Lord. Whatever. I was mixing my two verses, but all the power. I wasn't looking through the park that way. I wasn't seeing for the sunny day. How do you find the love when you're not looking? I wasn't looking. And then Jesus is just all right with me. So that's a partial list. Tell me which ones you like as part of my channel, George. What might be just for this, but the best. Actually, tell me what's the best ones that you think work for both. And then what else? So my grade for useful idiots. So this is, it's not. I'll use this one. No, I'll use this. So this is a 0. That's an A+. And right here, there's the middle, is 50%. So that's an F. So about right here is passing, about a D. Useful idiots actually get a C because they are followers. You can't have everyone be a leader. And yes, sometimes you're a leader and sometimes you're a follower. We all have mixtures also. And sometimes we scratch our eye on camera. Cherie, don't like it. Oh yeah. Cherie, our thoughts and prayers are with you, and glad you're back and safe at the Good Info Cafe. And that's terrible experience. Someday we'll hear the details. Look at the comments of last Wednesday's video. So the useful idiots get a C because they need leadership. Is also, when you have all these useful idiots, it's a call for people who are leaders to help them see, to take the scales. Unite the fight, left to right, let the scales fall from your eyes. And you can help people, but you can't force them. No Bible beaters and all that kind of stuff. So they really get a C. All the ones, the dum-dums, most of the mainstream media, the anchors and the ones that do the reporting are useful idiots. They're really not, they're low IQ, they're about 120 IQ, right around there. So people, maybe don't have a high IQ as that or whatever, but with their heart, they can really help people like that. And then people who have higher IQs, and remember, multiple intelligences, so it's all 10 or 9 different ways of being smart, and everyone's got their way to bring it. Norman said it great, that it's really, if you have your heart's there, and you know God, and you know and the best way is through Jesus, then you're bringing your God-given talents, and you know what your weaknesses are. The older you are, usually that's how it works. And boy, I know all my weaknesses. I know lots of my weaknesses. I shouldn't say I know all of them, but I know lots of my weaknesses. So I don't even know what I'm saying. Moving. Cash poor. It's hard to afford the rent here. So we're being very creative. My wife is going to be working somewhere two things, but helping a family member get this thing going. And so I'll give more details, but it's still in the DC area, outside the Beltway. I grew up inside the Beltway. Whistle tone. So I'm doing about 4%. What I hit it where I hit like 20% of what these big time people do. So now my daughter is out here with her doggy. Go play, go over there, go. Doggy wants me to throw it. Just adorable. I'm finishing a video and I'll be right out. And so I am going to wrap it up. So I just want to see if I got to everything. Oh yeah, McDuff's channel, John O'Loughlin. I call him McDuff. That's what George called him, and that's really refers to his father. Talked about Walter Cronkite, and now McDuff is awakening to Walter Cronkite was controlled. And there you can watch a video, if it hasn't been scrubbed, about Walter Cronkite saying, "They say I'm with Satan. Well, if I'm with Satan, I'm guilty," or something like that. And then they laugh. If you really have that on your heart, you're not that. You can't say it like that. And then I talk about separating the wheat from the chaff, but I need to be gluten-free. I'm celiac. So I say the we from the riffraff. So the we as in we the people from the riffraff. And that's what we're doing now. Recognize that Walter Cronkite was very much compromised and would say things that he was told to say, or he knew instinctively, because he was a smart guy. He knew what to say and he knew what not to say. The fentanyl, like I said, I get teary-eyed and choked up and weep some of the time when George talks about some of those things, and Connie was mentioning about family and friends or her kids' friends, and it wasn't like that when we were younger and teenagers. So I think that's it. Yes, I bring true hope and optimism. I think that's it. So far, I think that's it. So far, good. I think that's it. Goodbye. My daughter's looking at me like you're crazy. All right. Are we in the end of an age? I'm looking over at the button so I can push it.